What's up, Zookeepers? This your boy Silverback from Silverback Gaming, and I'm back bringing y'all another video. Now, me and my team said we was gonna do this series twice a week. We was gonna bring y'all old school Sundays and throwback Thursdays. And as y'all know, we recently lost our editor. He went to do his own thing. Good luck to him. Shouts out to him. So we looking to fill a spot. But for you zookeepers, we're going to keep it rolling, keep doing what we said we was going to do. We're going to get back on track. Y'all bear with me. I'm glad y'all still here. Without further ado, let's get to this video. Now, I know y'all looking at all these systems on the table. Like, what in the world is all these systems? These are one system. These are Sega CD. Now, back in early 90s, you had Nintendo, you had PlayStation, you had Sega trying to find their way. And Sega was doing a whole lot of questionable things. This was one of the first downfalls in a lot of people's opinions that Sega did was questionable. It was revolutionary at the time. Of course, now we can't see games without being in CD format, but I think they was a little too early to jump on the CD bandwagon. Me personally, I remember when this system came out, I used to go, they used to have demos at video game stores, at department stores, and I just used to sit and watch these videos for hours. But enough rambling. Let's get to facts. Y'all know, as y'all know, I'm passionate about Sega. So this is a special video to me. My childhood, majority of my childhood was spent between Sega and Nintendo. And as I became a teenager, the Genesis took me through up into my young youth. I mean, the PlayStation brought me up into my young manhood, but my youth, my teenage years was the Genesis. So I'm going to tell y'all a little bit about it, try to explain what's going on. Let's get to it. Now, in 1992, Sega released this console right here. This is the Sega CD Model 1. It was a it was a front-loading Sega CD unit. When it came out, like I said, everybody was doing attachments. You had TurboGrafx. They had their own attachment for their CD thing. I'm going to bring y'all that video. You had Nintendo. I showed y'all the DD system attachment. This is the Sega CD attachment. Everybody was putting a flagship console with a CD unit. You had Atari Jaguar that did the same thing. They had a CD attachment. Back in the 90s, they didn't come out with a whole CD unit. They just gave y'all an attachment because it wasn't way it is now, where different iterations kept coming out and they was expected to buy it with more powerful hardware. But so this is the front loading Sega CD Model 1 with a Sega Genesis Model 1 on top. This was notorious for failure. The front loading tray used to fail. The belts inside used to fail. This had a really bad failure rate. Very expensive when it came out, as it relates to today with inflation. It's very expensive. But for the people that could afford it, which I was unfortunate that I couldn't afford it, like a lot of people in my circles couldn't afford this thing. So when people bought it a couple of years, it failed. Sega went back to the drawing board and they came out with this. This is a Sega CD Model 2. Now, in most people setup, you will see this system. This is the Sega CD Model 2 with the Sega Genesis Model 2. Now, you can actually put a Sega Genesis Model 1 on this unit, but it looks better, and it was made for the Sega Model too. Like if you put the Model 1 on, you got a little extension plate that you stick on the side, because this is a little bit longer than the Model 2 Genesis. And this is your 6-button official Sega controller. I'm gonna tell y'all, I wasn't a fan of this controller growing up. I know this is basic, but man, I used to love my 3-button controller. Like I used to work this thing to the T. It was, of course, when we got more high-def games like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, that you needed more buttons. But with Sega, what they did, they made you press this start button and you could switch from punching to kicking. I worked it. I did it. I was a master. Everybody know your boy holla at me, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter. Y'all all came down to get some. NBA Jam, so forth. So everybody know me. But anyway, this joystick right here, like I said, I wasn't a fan of it. It was needed because this joystick was outdated. Like I said, me personally, I take this joystick over that joystick. But this joystick was needed, so Sega brought 6 buttons and gave you more buttons to compete with the Super Nintendo joystick. And like I said, in most people's setup, you will see this one. This is the more reliable. If you're gonna go back in time to get you a Sega CD, make sure you get you a Model 2, which is the one with the side plate. Now, if you have a setup, it's going to be kind of hard to put in your setup if you got like a cubicle setup, but you know, you could sit it on top or something. It's real long. It's real wide. It's go wide. Now this right here in front, this is a Pioneer Laser Active. Laser Active? What the world? Before DVDs, the first movie disc format was a laser disc, and this was a laser disc player. But what this also was, this was a video game unit. You heard me. Pioneer made it its own video game unit. And what they did, they released, you can interchange this pack right here. They had a TurboGrafx pack, and they got a Sega CD pack. You can see it got 2 slots and everything. You stick it, you can put the cartridge in, you can load it up, and once you got that pack, it plays CD. And this is how you release it. You get it to focus. See, release pack. You press that, and it slides out. And like I said, it came with a karaoke machine. Got a karaoke pack. I actually got the karaoke pack. I don't have the TurboGrafx pack because it was a little bit more expensive than the Genesis. But that's all it is. It's a laser disc player, and it got packs for you to play either Sega CD or TurboGrafx, or like I said, karaoke. That's the remote control, y'all. Yep, and you can hook a 6-button controller or a 3-button controller. You'll see I got the 3 buttons on most of these because, like I said, I'm a fan of the 3 buttons. Now, up top, you got JVC XI. Now, what this unit is, it's a Sega Genesis and a Sega CD in one unit. This is the first one that was released that was a combo in one unit. Sega manufactured out their Sega CD format. They leased it out for other companies, as case in point Pioneer and JVC. Nintendo did the same thing. They did it with the GameCube. Panasonic had a version of the GameCube. They license out their format to be made by other companies, and they shared profit of the unit. Not today. They would never do that today. But they got around a lot of bylaws and countries and stuff that way, just to get the unit out. Now, here's the most sought after, the most highly collected Sega CD, which is a Sega CDX. See how small this thing is? These are the games And if you put it to the side, like it literally is smaller than the game case, literally. I can bring it up. This little bad baby costs a pretty penny. Actually, all of these cost more than I would want y'all to pay if y'all would get one. Now, if you're gonna get one, I recommend getting this one and or that one, and I'm gonna tell you why this one is included, because you can actually put a 32X, which I was explaining about a 32X. I don't have it in this video because this is a Sega CD video, but you need a 32X in order to play some games, and I got a game out to show y'all. But this one right here is the one that I would recommend. Is the most reliable, well, not the most reliable, it's one of the most reliable. It's, like I said, highly sought after little unit, and it's very small, very compact. You got the Sega Genesis, you got the CD part. You can see it's got a counter right here. Why would it have a counter? Now, this dubbed as a CD player, a portable CD player at that. And you can see your play, your stop, your skips. This was just actual CD player. People used to get this and hook it up to their car. And back in the day, we had cassette tapes. And you put a cassette tape with the string, and you plug it up through the sides over here. And you made a portable CD player in your car, or you took it on the go with you. For CDs, you can see it got battery packs that it used for on the go. I bought it a long time ago, and I was very happy to get it. I was very pleased with it. It's like I said, it's one of the most reliable one. But if I had to give a recommendation on the reliability, it's actually the Model 2. Because this one was not delicate, but it was just so small and everything. So this is not all of my collection, but these are some of the games that I recommend. Now, a lot of games on the Sega CD wasn't great. And that's nicely put. What it was, that was one of the first systems to use video capture images. And so they kind of overdid it with it. So here goes Sonic CD. Man, this game here spawned a cartoon. Man, for any Genesis fan, this was the holy grail of Sonic. The soundtrack still bumps today. You see here go his uncle. People thought that was just like the evil Sonic before it was a shadow, but he became a character on the cartoon. They don't even really use his uncle no more. But this game was the holy grail of Sonic at the time. You had to go see it if you didn't own it. Now, for the people that know me, Sega Genesis had Eternal Champions. And that game was like a Mortal Kombat clone. A lot of clone came out of Mortal Kombat. And Eternal Champions with the Sega Genesis version of that. I actually loved Eternal Champions. Everybody came to my house. We had our own characters. And this was the only sequel that we got. I bought this game brand new sealed, as you can see. And I haven't found myself to open it. Even though this is the second most sought after game I wanted on the system. I bought it sealed, and I just haven't found myself to open it. But those are the only two games I wanted. I mean, you got games like Sewer Shark and Snatcher that people look for. Me personally, like I said, I grew up with these systems. So I seen these games as they was being released. So these games are important to me. And that's what it comes down to, you guys. When you're a collector, it's not your collection compared to nobody. It's your collection that you collect that makes you happy and what's important to you. Now, everybody know me. Know I was a humongous Jordan fan, Bulls fan. This game came out when Jordan retired and before he came to baseball, but he was retired from the NBA. And so they gave Scottie Pippen his own game. And Scottie, this was your only game that you ever got, boy. You better be glad Jordan was gone. Anyway, Slam City with Scottie Pippen. Commercialized. Man, they ran this commercial down your throat. If you was a kid, Scottie was in your face on commercials, man. They ran this commercial like 3 to 4 times a day. I seen this commercial. Not a great game. Like I said, the video capture you playing like the real video image of it, and you trying to control real images. It's kind of wonky. The controls are suspect, but I'm not gonna rate these games as in now, because that's what a lot of people do. They rate these games for what they used to now. These games was, like I said, came out. This system was released in 92. 92. That's a long time, man, and I'm not finna criticize no game. Now, anybody that was anything in the 90s, this was the junk, the game in arcades, and this was one of the best ports of NBA Jam. And like I said, the Sega CD was so powerful. It gave you arcade graphics on the games that they decided to make games. Like I did say, they did a lot of video images games, which real crappy, really suck. As now, back then, you did more watching than you did gameplay. Now here's a game that was came out in arcades. It's not WWF arcades, but it's Rage in the Cage, and you can see all the characters that we knew from WWF, not WWE, WWF. Great game. Like I said, it wasn't WWF arcade, but it gave you the feel of WWF arcade. And like I said, from the Genesis to the Sega CD, it was leaps and bounds above what they can do. Now, I included this game because we recently had the death of one of the most coveted Power Rangers. Shouts out to him, RIP. So, wasn't a big, huge Power Ranger fan. My nephew was, you know who you are, Brian. Yeah, I'm gonna call you out, man. You used to watch Power Ranger all the time. Occupy my TV on Power Rangers. Anyway, boy, this game that he probably would love, like I said, you can see it say morph into live action video. That's what the Sega CD did, and I ain't gonna say did best, but that's what they was known for. All right, guys, and that seems like that is the video. Nowadays, you would never get that done with no other company licensing out their format. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said, it's gonna get better. Y'all stick with me. This is not, we ain't going nowhere. I do have a team. We're looking for an editor. So bear with me. The video is gonna kind of go reverse for a minute until we get our editor in place. And that's it, man. I love you guys. Comment, like, and subscribe. Like I said, I'm gonna get back on track. We're gonna do old school Sundays. Relax, take a beer, get something to eat and drink, sit back and learn some histories, and then we're gonna do Throwback Thursdays. Throwback Thursdays ain't gonna be as in depth as this one is. Like Sundays, I'm going to try to, you know, make a little longer videos for Sunday watching. But Thursday going to be a real quick in-your-face throwback video. This is it, man. This is your favorite Gorilla Silverback. I'm beating on my chest. And I'm out, you guys.